The Sacramento Kings are one of the most slept on teams in the entire NBA and have also been one of the most surprisingly dominant teams this season. The Kings are 4-1 in their last 5 games and have been putting up some pretty ridiculous numbers over this stretch. Currently sitting in the 3rd seed in the West with a record of 35-25, only 1.5 games out from the 2-seeded Memphis Grizzlies. I think it's about that time that we finally give them the respect that they deserve. In this video, I'll be breaking down the 3 major factors that will lead the Kings on a huge playoff run and could ultimately help them compete for an NBA championship this season. However, before we jump into today's video, make sure you guys smash that like button. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're going to be covering the Sacramento Kings and the rest of the NBA all year long, so make sure you guys turn on post notifications and you'll be notified every time we drop a video. Also, comment down below, who do you think is the most underrated player on this Kings team right now? Let me know real quick, but without any further ado, let's get right into the video. So our first major factor for the Kings is they need to maintain their elite offensive style of basketball. And when I say elite, I mean elite. That they have been one of the most overpowered offenses in the entire NBA, and the stats showed this. Over the past 5 games, the Kings are averaging 130 points per game, and to put that into some perspective or to some comparison here, the Boston Celtics have the 3rd best offense in the entire NBA, and they're putting up 118 points per game. Now, compared to the Kings, over the last 5 games, they're putting up 130 points per game, which is 12 points more than the 3rd team in the NBA. So just thinking about that alone is absolutely crazy. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, what is the average on the season? Because the last 5 games doesn't really matter when you put it in comparison to the whole entire season. Well, they score roughly 120 points per night, which is good enough to be the best offense in basketball through the entirety of the season so far. Unbelievable. I can fairly say nobody could have seen this coming from the Sacramento Kings. Now, I want to take a deep dive into just how good this offense stacks up compared to the rest of the league. Let's take a look at some of these elite numbers, and here are just some of their rankings. The Kings currently rank number 1 in points per game, number 7 in fast break points per game, number 11 in points in the paint, number 4 in assists per game, and number 6 in assists to turnover ratio. I mean, guys, to rank in the top 11 of 5 major offensive categories is really tough to do. So this is impressive alone. However, the great numbers don't stop there. They also have some of the best shooting metrics in the entire NBA as well. Now let's look over some of these. The Kings also rank number 3 in effective field goal percentage, number 9 in 3-point percentage, number 1 in 2-point percentage, number 1 in true shooting efficiency, number 3 in field goals made per game, number 7 in 3-pointers made per game, and number 6 in for free throws made per game as well. With all these stats combined, the Kings rank in the top 10 of 11 major offensive categories this season. Absolutely incredible by the Sacramento Kings team. When you watch this team play, you see one of the most fluid, well-balanced teams in the entire league on the offensive side of the ball. They love to run this offense through Sabonis and allow him to use his amazing core vision to find open cutters and use shooters off screens and, just getting them a ton of open shots. The Kings love to run one play in particular that's coming to mind, and it has Kevin Huerter running around an off-ball screen and then also running around Sabonis, who's, being used as a screener as the ball handler, and then he usually gets wide open for a 3-ball, and that always gives teams troubles. And I see them run that play so much, and it always seems to work. And then the Kings also do a great job running in transition, utilizing De'Aaron Fox's speed and acceleration to get fast break points. This also forces teams into tough decisions, and they're forced to, foul the Kings a lot, which is why they're one of the most, one of the best teams in the NBA in terms of getting to the free throw line. And, man, this offense has been electric to this point in the season, and they will have to continue to play like this if they want a shot at a deep playoff run. Now, moving into our second major factor that is leading to such a great season by the Kings so far is their insane depth. The Kings have 6 players right now averaging more than double-digit points per game, and they've been consistent all year long. These players include guys like De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, and even Malik Monk coming over here from the Lakers. All 6 of these guys have been superstars in their individual roles on this team, and it's been showing. First of all, De'Aaron Fox this season is averaging 25 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and also bringing in a steal a game while shooting 51% from the floor and 33% from three. De'Aaron has been amazing and has officially made his jump into being an all-star this year. And then you look at a guy like Sabonis, another guy who is an all-star this year, is having another incredible season as well, currently putting up 18.7 points, 12.4 rebounds, and 6.9 assists per game, leading the team in rebounds and assists per game. And like I said before, they love to run this offense through him, and he's done a great job reading defenses and finding the open man while still getting to his spots on the floor. He's shooting 61% from the field and 34% from three. It's fair to say that Sabonis has been crucial for this Kings team this season. And then you move on to a guy like Harrison Barnes, who's been utilized as the vet on this team, the locker room leader, but he's actually playing a huge role on the court as well, putting up 14 points a night while shooting 47% from the floor and 37% from three. Now we're seeing a little bit of a trend right now. A lot of these guys are just being able to shoot the three ball better and better. As we go down this list, more of these guys can stretch the floor a little bit, and that has been huge for the Kings. And now we're moving on to two guys like Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray, who have also been really dynamic for this Kings team. Both of these guys have been lights out from three-point land this season and have been vital for Sacramento. Kevin Huerter is averaging 14 points per game while shooting 39% from three. And then you go look at a guy like Keegan Murray, who's putting up 12 points a night and shooting 41.4% from three as a rookie. These guys have stretched the floor so well and made this team so much more versatile. It's been so fun to watch, and I can only imagine how good Keegan Murray is going to be in a few years. Like I said, averaging 12 points, shooting 41% from three as a rookie is kind of insane. And then lastly, I want to talk about Malik Monk, man. He has been massive coming off the bench, being utilized as their sixth man, and some might say he's a favorite to win the six-man trophy this season, but he's got some tough competition. But just a couple of nights ago, Malik Monk had a 45-point game versus the Clippers in a double OT matchup where he absolutely took over the game, and he was definitely their X factor in that game. Now, before we move into our third and final factor, make sure you guys smash that like button if you've enjoyed the video so far, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Okay, so our third and final factor is going to be something the Kings need to improve on if they truly want to be in contention for an NBA championship this season. The Kings need to get better on the defensive side of the ball. We already know they have one of the best offenses in the entire NBA, but at the same time, their defense is really bad. Let's take a look at some of these defensive stats. So the Kings currently rank number 25 in points allowed, number 28 in points allowed in the paint, number 25 in assists allowed per game, number 29 in three-point percentage allowed, number 29 in opposing true shooting percentage, and number 28 in field goals allowed per game. Those are really, really bad numbers. Most of those stats, they're ranking in the top two of the worst. It's really not good. They need to improve. They have, a top 8 worst defense in terms of points allowed in all first 3 of the quarters. So in the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter, they have some of the worst defensive, quarters in all of the NBA, which is but what I wanted to say is in the fourth quarter, they actually have a really good defense. So that's one of the main reasons why they have such a good record at this point, is because in the fourth quarter, they finally understand how to play defense, and they're a much better team. But they need to find a way to make that translate into the whole entire game. And if they do that, they can make a huge playoff run, and there's no doubt in my mind. This offense is elite, the roster is deep, and the defense just needs to work, and the sky is the limit, man. If they just put in that work defensively and find out what it takes to be a good defensive team, this team is going to make everybody surprised, man. They're going to shock the world. But let me know in the comment section down below, what is your opinion on the Sacramento Kings, and if you think they can make a big playoff run this season. Also, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button if you want more Kings videos in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.